Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and Antonio. This is Mr. Giomini coming to you with two more questions from your Unit 6 pretest. You should have this pretest at home, so it'll be easy for you to kind of watch the video, have the pretest in front of you, or watch the video first, then come back and take a look at the pretest and try to answer the questions, and then go back and see if you had the questions right by viewing the video again. So yesterday we talked about inequalities, which caused some of us major headaches. So let's take a look at the two questions on the pretest that dealt with inequalities. First one I have is now notice it says solve and graph. 2 points. Solve it, you get 1 point. Graph it, you get another. I see that, and we're combining it. So you have to solve and graph these. These are 2 points, boys and girls. So this is a 4-point section right here. Pretty big. So looking at the first one, I'm going to rewrite it down here. I have 3 and 2/10 plus an unknown is greater than, or equal to 9. Okay, first thing I want to do is I know I need to isolate that variable x. I want that x by itself. Now I must do the inverse of this to get rid of it. Now many of you are saying, well, what's the opposite of 3 and 2/10? Well, it's a positive, so to get rid of that positive, I'm going to subtract 3 and 2/10. That would cancel it out. So this cancels out, so all I'm left with on this side is x. Now, it's going to be x is greater than or equal to. Now, I'm going to do a little subtraction over because now I'm going to subtract whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. I'm going to subtract 3 and 2/10 from this side. So I have 9. I'm going to add a decimal point to that 9. Remember, I can add a decimal point to any whole number and add an infinite number of zeros in there. It doesn't change its value. And I'm subtracting that 3 and 2/10. So now I have 0 minus 2. But I can't do that because I can't take 2 from 0. So that becomes a 10. I'm going to take the 10 from here, and now this becomes 8. So now I have 80 rather than 90. So I have 10, well, I still have 90, but I have 10 minus 2 is 8. Bring down my decimal point. 8 minus 3 is 5. So now I know that x is greater than or equal to 5 and 8/10. Now I'm going to go back up here, transfer my solution up here. So assuming that my subtraction was correct, this already gives me 1 point. So good. I'm going to put a check next to this. Alright, so remember now it says x is greater than or equal to 5 and 8/10. I'm going to take that 5 and 8/10 and make it my middle point on this number line. I'll do one more to the left, or to the right of it. So that's 5 and 9/10 because I'm getting bigger to the right. I'm getting smaller to the left, so this is 5 and 7/10. Now, this is greater than or equal to. So that means 5 and 8/10, I can include this in the solution set. So that means I'm getting a circle around 5 and 8/10 and filleting it in. Because that means 5 and 8/10 is also part of the solution set. I can input or substitute 5 and 8/10 for x, and it would still make the sentence true. Because 3 and 2/10 plus 5 and 8/10 equals 9. 9 is greater than or equal to 9. That's true. Now again, x is any number that's 5 and 8/10 or larger. So to make these numbers larger, I am not going to the left on my number line. I am going to the right. So I am going to make, I made my dot, and I'm going to make my arrow go to the right on the number line, and I am done with that problem. So now I've completed both the solution and I have graphed it. So I'm excited. So I have 2 points for this problem, and now I need to do the 2 points for this problem. Let me erase this work down here so I have some more space. And I take a look down here. I'm going to rewrite this. So I have 8 is less than x minus 3. Okay, so let's see here. I want to isolate the x. So in isolating the x, I need to get rid of that 3. Remember, whatever I do to one side of the inequality, I do to the other, just like an algebraic equation. So to get rid of that 3, I could just add 3 to both sides. That'd be the opposite, so that'd be the inverse. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides, add 3. I'm left with 11 is less than x. Now I don't like reading it like this, so I can easily write this. X is greater than 11. I can also write it like that. Okay, so you can almost think about it as a reflection. You're reflecting this. And it makes it a little bit easier for me to see. So I am going to come up here and write my solution to the inequality. X is greater than 11. Alright, so I have the 1 point already. So yes, good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and plot 11 in the middle of this number line. I'll go 1 to the right, make that a 12, 1 to the left, make that a 10. Now notice it's not underlined, so that means 11 is not part of the solution set. It is the solution to the inequality, but if I plug this in, 11 minus 3 equals 8. 8 is not greater than 8, so that's why it's not part of the solution set. But I put that circle on the 11, and now the important part is which way is my arrow going. So taking a look, which way is my arrow going? I am going to go, let's see, x is greater than 11, so that means it's going to the right, because everything greater than 11 would be to the right of 11, not to the left. There's a little less obnoxious arrow for you. Hope this helps you out. Take care.